Hi, welcome back to the Kyle and Jomo channel.
Hello.
We do something a little different today. We each made a list with 3 games each that we think should exist. They haven't been announced in any official capacity, maybe rumored at most. If that changes, that's probably good news for us.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So if there's ever a video I'd like to see dated, this is the one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, remember when I thought that wasn't going to happen? Oh, I'm so happy it did.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe you start with
all right. Well,
your first item.
Now this one could be, well, you know what? Maybe I won't go with that one just yet. But okay. So what I would like is another Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game. Now I know there's been a remake.
Yeah, aren't they making that?
The studio apparently that was working on it has been it's ended production. So it's we don't know if this game is going to be ever made or not. We don't know. It's not. I haven't heard anything in months. So my hope is it's not necessarily just a remake. I'd love to see that, but I'd like just those mechanics in the Star Wars world done on today's graphics. The last game we had was on the Xbox.
Isn't there an MMO? Or am I misremembering?
There's an MMO, but I want a single player experience again. I want KOTOR, but it doesn't have to have anything to do with that era of Star Wars. I just want those game mechanics, those conversation pieces. Mass Effect has done, obviously, a lot to build that perspective.
You just need an extra little Star Wars sprinkle.
I want that Star Wars sprinkle, but I also want turn-based combat. I just loved the whole package of KOTOR.
Oh my gosh, is KOTOR turn-based? I played half that game.
Oh my god.
Is
that why you hate it?
It's real-time-ish.
Well, no, you press a button and it does it automatically, and then you choose what... No wonder you might have hated the game, because I'm like, man, you don't like the game? It's amazing. It's yeah, you don't constantly move around and attack.
You can reposition.
It's not best. Usually you pause the game, you choose what target you want, and then you click that, and then the guy moves automatically to the next target and does the next thing.
Maybe one day I'll look into that one again.
Yeah,
It's been a while, mind you, so I might be misremembering. I haven't played it since back when 360 was new, I think.
Okay, so yeah, man, that. I'd love to see another game made just like that. Obviously with some new finesses and things, but the core mechanics brought back in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, so that's one of my big hopes for sure.
All right, you say that's your biggest one on the list?
No, it's not my biggest.
Oh, my biggest one. I'm going to start with the biggest one. Usually it's the other way around. You work up. Mm-hmm. I'm going to start with the biggest one, man. You could probably guess.
Yeah.
It's we got this beautiful RE engine right now. We keep remaking Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
Why don't we remake Dino Crisis in the RE engine? Give me that over-the-shoulder third person they've been using for RE2 and 3. Mm-hmm. Put it in the Dino Crisis world. I can't believe they haven't done this yet. Because it's okay, zombies are slow, shambling. They have other monsters in Resident Evil 2, but primarily it's slow, shambling zombies. And they had to speed them up in the newer games to make them more action-y. That's clearly the direction they want to go. Mm-hmm. Why would you, take Resident Evil and try to fit into a Dino Crisis-shaped hole when you have Dino Crisis that fits into the Dino Crisis-shaped hole? You have speedy dinosaurs like Velociraptors and T-Rex and Pteranodons. Give me hardcore action, RE engine graphics. It could be a remake, it could be a sequel. Sequel's tough since the third one when they were in space. It might need to be a reboot sequel kind of thing.
Okay.
Like maybe it only follows the first game or the second one at most.
Interesting. I wonder why, this is just an idea. Maybe you'll disagree with it, but dinosaurs can be scary, but I have not seen them scary.
No one really tries.
Yeah, but I think they could really be scary. They're more now kid-friendly things, but they could be very if you had detailed graphics of just being mutilated or eaten alive, or
which is what the original Dino Crisis games are. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I would think maybe because say something like Jurassic World, right? It is targeted more towards children than the first movies were.
Sure.
Because they know kids are the main... almost every kid likes dinosaurs. Not every adult likes dinosaurs. So it makes sense that, this has to be, if not kid-friendly, at least, accessible. Okay, there's some scary scenes, but it's mostly fine for kids. I mean, granted, that's a bit of a tangent. Dino Crisis would need to be M-rated. It would need to be bloody, violent. And, it could be scary, but I think an action setup would be fine. Like what they did with Resident Evil 3 was really great. Like I know a lot of people don't like that game because it stripped out a lot of the original story and made it more streamlined. But that kind of experience where it's just like kind of point A to point B, a little more linear, but lots of like gunplay, crazy set pieces, that would work great for Dino Crisis.
That would be cool. I'd like to see that, just how that would be executed, but they would have to, make it scary, and that'd be neat.
If not, like I said, if not scary, at least like atmospheric and exciting. Like almost Resident Evil 5, like the way that game kind of balances fear and action. Because there were tense moments in that, but for the most part, it's kind of just dumb fun. So there's different ways they could go with that. Honestly, any way is better than Exoprimal. That's just like salt in the wound, and they knew it.
Yeah, well.
So, okay, well, that's enough about Dino Crisis.
All right, well, my next one is Smash Brothers. Yes, obviously there's going to be another Smash Brothers one day, I imagine. But what I want in this next Smash Brothers is a couple different things. One I've been talking about for years is battle damage.
Yeah.
So, for example, you will see if someone got hit with fire, over time their clothes actually look burnt up. There's maybe burn wounds. If they were electrocuted, maybe there's a residue of that, or dirt, or some type of residue that maybe at high percentages, you can see that they're kind of tired. Like how Mario in 64, he's like, whoo, when he's low health.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. Like you could see them kind of struggling to fight. That'd be neat.
Kind of surprised that aspect's not already in the game. Like, like a panting, or kind of just like they look weaker. Not necessarily damage, but just their animations. I guess it's a lot of work.
Yeah. And then also maybe a little bit of like the stage is messed up. You can just a little bit, like they do that, but it doesn't stay. You can't tell like, oh, look at this chaos that has occurred. All
great battle has happened here.
Yeah, that'd be cool. The other thing I'm wanting is some characters missing in the next ones. I kind of like the idea of characters being removed and we kind of miss them. So other characters that are maybe obscure show up, that we've never seen. And then the other thing is all new movesets. So I'm talking about like Mario does not play like Mario at all. No upbeat.
We've discussed this. What happens after Ultimate? You can't just keep adding more. Like you could, but they got to change something. So that was your idea you've discussed before about.
Yeah, I think they would have to, like, this is kind of like the end of the Sakurai era. And, if he chooses to truly stay out of Smash moving forward. But they would have to kind of change things up, really. If they kept going, it would seem like it wouldn't be as exciting. I don't know if it would be as invigorating to the franchise if they just added another DLC packer basically to it, which I'd be fine with. But I guess I forgot one more thing I wanted to add to this was new mechanics. One I would predict that they would include is maybe shielding or guarding in some way in the air. So we have some fighting games where you can be in the air and people are attacking you and you're kind of guarding and blocking a hit. That'd be cool. And I would wonder how that would work in Smash Brothers, where now you might not take damage if you were shielding in the air. That'd be interesting.
Well, yeah, I think any number of, like, it seems like such a small thing, but with Smash Brothers, those little changes add up fast. And it would have a pretty big effect.
Yeah, I mean, like, what if they brought back edge guarding, where if you're holding the edge guy, it just goes right through it?
Oh, let's bring back the edge game, period. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Like, where not everyone can just fly back.
Yeah, I mean, or we can go through each other again. Like, they could make these little tweaks, and the gameplay would be totally different. And on top of that, you add all these extra things, like, like I've already mentioned. I think that could just really make it even more exciting, possibly, than it already is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's another one.
Okay, well, I guess I was going to... I have something else I was going to say first, but might as well go to my Smash Brothers game, too.
Whoa!
But it's not Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
What I have is a licensing nightmare, so it'll never happen.
Okay.
But and it doesn't have to be Smash Brothers. It could play like Mortal Kombat. It could be whatever. It's a fighting game though, and Smash Brothers seems to be the likely kind of format that they've been using in like multiverses and such.
Yeah,
So what I'd like to see is like a Smash Brothers reject. So this is a collection of characters that would never be in the real Smash Brothers. I'm talking forgotten mascots like Croc, Arrow the Acrobat, Radical Rex, Ed from Tonic Trouble, Glover. The list goes on. You could just think of all these characters that just aren't good enough to be in Smash Brothers and just lump them all into this. And it could play like Smash. It could play more like Mortal Kombat, anything. But it'd be a fighting game, maybe a fighting platform. Yeah, it has to be a fighting platformer, I think. And then maybe even make it a parody of Smash Brothers. Like aspects of it are purposely like poking fun at the mechanics of Smash Brothers. Like you could do a lot of things with this.
Yeah.
Of the games on my list, this one is by far the least likely to happen because I think it's very much something I think would be funny. Because I love seeing all these old characters. Like a lot of these characters you couldn't give a new game to. Like let's say Davey from Chameleon Twist. he has less than 0% chance of being in Smash Brothers. So it'd be kind of great to see that, potential moveset. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's all I'm saying. Is I'd like to see these crazy characters not only get a new fresh coat of paint, because in Smash Brothers they do often take retro characters and you see them in a new way, like the Duck Hunt dog. Mm-hmm. Like that's it's cool. What does he look like in 3D? There he is in this art style. So it'd be neat to see these characters get like brought forward without necessarily having to make a whole game for them, which is asking maybe even more than this.
Yes, so that it's almost like your idea might be more realistic.
Maybe I think they're both unrealistic, so it's never going to happen, unfortunately. But I'll keep talking about it.
Yeah, well, you never know. Who would have thought that we'd be seeing SpongeBob fighting Cat Dog and Helga in Nickelodeon Fighters? Like, people be like, yeah, right. Why would they ever do that?
Like I said, the only difference, though, is that's like all under one kind of like copyright roof.
Well, maybe Microsoft decides to buy up all of those little studios and own every single little IP from Croc to I don't know who, but
Ed from Tonic Trouble. Anyway.
So, yeah. Now, I'm wondering, this is my last thing. I mean, obviously we could come up with more, but we came up with 3 for discussion's sake. It probably will never happen, but Halo 6. And what I mean by Halo 6 is the game that, story that would take place between Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. And I want that story. And I think it would actually enhance Infinite's, story and campaign a little more. I mean, that's a whole other discussion, that Halo Infinite's campaign. But that gameplay, that story, that battle, to see, like, even if it showed Locke dying, like, that would be cool. Like, at least we get to see what happens to these characters. Like, they might get all blown up in the first mission. Like, then we see it, like,
I want to witness. It would be fitting for Locke to be quickly dispatched in the opening mission after we did the Jewel Madama.
Yeah. By an elite. By an elite that's working for the Banished. He gets slain real quick and stabbed to death. They're like, oh!
I mean, as far as we know, Locke isn't actually dead. He's on, like, I think last he was heard he was on Operation Breaker or some mission with Team Osiris. Oh, yeah. So he's basically in storyline jail, right?
Yeah.
Like story jail. You could just say, oh, well, let's bring it back or let's not. Maybe he'll be in a book sometime.
Yeah, I mean, like...
You're right. It would be nice just to have the proper Halo 6.
Yeah, and it's just a campaign. It doesn't need to have a whole multiplayer. It's just show us what happened. And I would feel like I have closure. Because right now, it's kind of like, this ain't right the way it is.
Well,
we missed out on, like, the biggest battle possibly in the galaxy that has occurred.
Halo Infinite is structured in such a way that it's treating the game we didn't play as a flashback. But I feel like even what they explain happened isn't the full story, because we've had books, Shadow of Reach, I believe it's called, that cover like Blue Team heading back to Reach to find in beneath Sword Base, the remnants of old Cortana to help make the weapon. I believe a portal opens, which allows the Banished and Atriox to escape from the Ark, which is the last place they were seen before Halo Infinite.
Cool.
Trapped on the Ark. Yeah. So it's like there are things that could be explained. Also, like, I know people hate fighting the created, but honestly, that you can't just have the main enemy faction from 2 games, built up to be this unstoppable force, and then just have them be stopped between games. Like, there should be a chance to finish this, to fight these enemies. And if you don't like the way they fight, just change the way they function. Like how let's not go too deep on this. You open the Halo can of worms on me, but Halo 2, maybe some people didn't like how the brutes played, but storyline wise, well, next game you're fighting brutes because the elites are good guys now, right? So you'll notice the brutes in Halo 3 function very differently gameplay wise.
Yeah,
and they're actually fun to fight. So that's all they need to do. And I know they had 2 chances to make the Prometheans work, and some will argue they never got it right. Try again.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's a pipe dream at this point, but you never know. I mean, you never know with anything. People thought that there wouldn't be another Donkey Kong Country game. We never thought Banjo-Kazooie would be here. We never thought remake of this, so anything is really possible.
It's hard to imagine a universe, though, where they would make this game because it almost, like, admits a mistake. It's like, You don't often see games that like fill in gaps like that, I don't think. Especially if like they purposely left that gap unfilled.
Well, what if, which is very unlikely, another team was involved in the creation of this game, and it could be seen as sort of like the ODST, of its time.
I wouldn't. You could argue, yeah, it could be like an ODST kind of side campaign. I just wonder, they can barely keep Infinite going with content.
This year, next year, no. Maybe 10 years from now. I don't know.
At that point, its relevancy is so lost to time. Why even do it?
Because I want it.
But you're in the minority, you and me.
Gosh, yeah, I don't know.
Most people are happy those guys are gone, the Prometheans, and they're happy Cortana's defeated. It's like, we got a clean slate.
That's why it's on the list, I guess.
That's why it's on the list. It's a pipe dream. Okay, so I guess this is going to be a bit of a letdown after all these big ideas. This might actually happen. Okay, so I want a Yoshi game on a console, like we've been getting.
Okay.
We've been very spoiled with Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U, and then Yoshi's Crafted
World?
Is it Crafted World?
I think so.
I played the game, I don't remember. Anyway, on the Switch. But I don't like... I mean, I'm fine with the aesthetic of these games, but I would like Yoshi to once again look, if not like Yoshi's Island, but something more... Realistic's not even the right word, but something more like...
Jungle?
It could be a real environment by Yoshi standards. Because a lot of after Yoshi's Story and Beyond, it took on this very like everything's stitched together, or Yoshi's made of yarn, or the background is like, pillows, or like, popcorn.
It's not real. It's like he's in a fantasy world, basically. But
it's like
not
some
a real
kid built a Yoshi game.
Yes.
So it'd be neat if, and I know the first Yoshi game, Yoshi's Island, it has kind of a crayon-drawn look to it. But within the context of the game, that is the game. That's
it's a real
world.
Environment.
Yeah, so I would like to, and it's a very specific, weird thing to ask for, I know, but I'd like to see them like swing for the fences and just make a really pretty Yoshi game without the asterisk. It looks pretty because he's made of yarn.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like the environmental aesthetic has been a constant style for the last couple of games.
Do like a tropical freeze look, something like that. And it could be a little more stylized. I'm not object to some stylization. Just none of like the crafted stuff. It's a good look. I don't hate it. We've done it.
Yeah, you just want an older like that. You've described what you want.
Yeah, and like gameplay, and this is purely an aesthetic thing. Like gameplay wise, I'm perfectly happy with what they've been doing.
Well, I get it. I mean, I'm not trying to take the spotlight from you, but like with Donkey Kong Country, I would love to see Kremlings in it.
Yeah,
I would just want some Kremlings.
Well, you and everyone else.
I would be, yeah. But I mean, like that. It's funny how that small little thing would make a world of difference in my excitement of playing that game. So the same thing kind of goes with your Yoshi game. It's like, if they just change that environment. You're not even talking about gameplay mechanics, not even graphics per se, or story, or music. It's just, can you just put him here?
Well, it is graphics in a sense. Like, I think it's strictly a graphics thing. Like, I don't really mind. And if they made another Yoshi game where he's made like modeling clay or something, yeah, I'm going to play it. I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I wouldn't mind. Just Yoshi is Yoshi. Mm-hmm. He's in Yoshi's world or Mario's world, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yoshi's just doing stuff in a real place that exists.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And give it like a really good production, like budget. Make it look pretty. Mm-hmm. And it could still be 2D. I don't need a big 3D adventure or anything. I'm not too picky. 3D would be nice, actually, to come think of it. But
wow. That'd be
Kirby just got it, so you never know.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. Wow.
So I guess that's our lists.
Yeah. If you like this video, feel free to comment and let us know what you think. Maybe you have a game on your list, and
comment down below. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be recorded for all time, so long as YouTube allows it.
Tell us what you would like to see.
Yeah, we're actually curious. Let's see, and then we can all see together if our dreams come true.